Hi, my name is Connie Going. I'm an adoptive mom, I'm an adoption advocate, and I work in the child welfare system for well over 30 years. What do I bring to the table to be part of this amazing project? I've seen everything in the field, from removal to prevention, which I love, to adoption support. I've experienced working in the system and working in the privatized system here in Florida. I'm now working on the outside. I have a nonprofit meant to support adoptive families. But what I bring is an overview of the transparency of what it really is like. What it's like to be a caseworker, to advocate for your children, and then to step on the other side, to fight the system, to walk in the fire, and to adopt two teenage boys. One I adopted at 12, one I adopted at 17. I know what it's like to go above and beyond to try to find homes for those boys and to watch how the system and the technology that was set up failed those children. I know what it's like to live every day with a child of trauma and to know that attachment is the key for everything. And to think at night that I'm not good enough to do this and to know giving up is not an option. And then to grab those moments when they do amazing things and you know you've done it right, to watch them grow and flourish. I've been around long enough to know that many of the children I touched years ago have aged out and that their successes are very poor. Some have gone on to do well, but the haunting of being in foster care, the trauma has followed them their entire lives. What do I bring? Well, I bring hope because you never give up. You don't give up on the children you adopt. You don't give up on changing the system, on making it better, on looking at what the problems are and finding a way. Sometimes I feel like the child welfare system is stuck in the 1800s. We're still filing papers by hand. Um, I know the need for help is out there. I know the design and technology. One of my sons was in the media and his story went viral. And I was the caseworker who, not really the caseworker, but I was an administrator. But I took him to church and he asked for a family, and we had 10,000 people call. I watched a system not be able to handle or use or process or share any of those families to help other children. I know there's a better way. In post-adoption, I run online support groups and field support groups, and I take calls all day long. Families are struggling. Families are not prepared. You don't know what you don't know. And so I think that in looking at a redesign of the child welfare system, we have to look at what's really working and not false data and not false, oh, pat ourselves on the back. Let's be honest. Let's be transparent. Let's really look at what is working and what is not. First of all, we need to listen to the children because they will tell you what's not working. They will tell you that they've had relatives right around the corner that nobody found. They're going to tell you that in some cases they may be better off with their biological families and that poverty is not a reason for them to have come in care. When you've been around this long, you've seen it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you have to be honest about it. You have to take the chip off your shoulder and say this didn't work. Unfortunately, child welfare is a reactive system. We wait, unfortunately, for children to die, and then we act on it, and then we make reform and change. And we've seen it over and over and over through major lawsuits that then passed, bills. If we could design this in a better way, if we could make it so that families feel engaged, that they're a part of the process, that workers are better prepared, that workers have the ability to assess families in a way that allows them to, as they're assessing, educate what strengths make up a strong family. In adoption, we know it's flexibility. You know, I've handled close to 100 dissolutions in my time, and they're heartbreaking. One of my sons was a returned adoptive child. Um, Watching that family struggle, watching him come back in and being raised in institutions. How are we going to change how our children are housed once they're in care? What does that look like? Are we going to continue to put them in large settings where, truly where children heal are, it's with a family. That's where children heal. I believe what I bring to the table is experience. I bring passion. I bring eternal hope for change. And what I have found is that it's kind of infectious if you're around me. People tend to feel better and get motivated. It doesn't matter what the barrier is, we will overcome it. I really feel like I bring those things to the table. My greatest contribution, I think, is just who I am. I have, all the technical pieces in place, but what I have more so is the hands-on experience. I've been an adoptive parent now for over 5.5 years, and I've watched my boys turn their lives around slowly. They were children of the world considered unadoptable, and they were labeled, and they were told they'd never attach, and I watched them achieve and grow and have attachment and healthy relationships. I bring that to the design process. I bring the fact that every child is adoptable. Children heal in families, and we have to find ways to process those families coming in for children quicker. We need to reduce the time that children are waiting. The dinosaurs we have in place for both recruitment and processing are not working. Let's be honest. I don't care how much federal dollars you give it, it's not working. And a family shouldn't have to call 30 places to reach out for children. We should be able to match them. The social worker should be able to take charge and look at systems that are able to say, I am a family, I want a 10-year-old child. I don't care that he does blank, blank, and blank. And I don't, we should be able to locate that child because they're out there. If we have 100,000 children, I know we have more families because I saw it firsthand. I saw the families that came in for my son, and I saw them go by the wayside into waste afterwards. Not one home study was shared by that agency. So it's heartbreaking. But that's what I bring to the table, and I hope you'll consider me.